Good morning, my loves. Happy Tuesday. Oh my gosh, it's already Tuesday. Monday, Monday was a stinker. Monday was a rough day for a lot of folks. And that's kind of the point of today's topic. A lot of people had the rug pulled out from under them yesterday. And that's what we're talking about. So this goes on many, many, many different levels. And what I mean by having the rug pulled out from under you, there were a lot of people that had breakups, unexpected breakups, lost their job, lost relationships, lost family members, lost a home, lost a deal. Maybe you were overdrawn at the bank. I mean, regardless of how big or how small, we all know that gut punch feeling. We've all been there. So let's talk about it. Because generally, when this happens, there is a life lesson in there. So, easiest example is you're overdrawn at the bank. Well, that means you should have watched your spending a little bit closer. You should have managed your finances a little better. Maybe you didn't need that, what is it? Double mocha cappuccino, whatever. You know, watch your spending. There's a difference between what you want and what you need. So that's a life lesson there. In a relationship, because I've talked to several people over the weekend who had relationships blow up and they're devastated. They never saw it coming. Honey, yeah, you did. You chose. You chose to ignore the red flags. We talked about it. You chose knowingly to ignore the red flags, to ignore the disrespect, to ignore the lies. We talked. You knew there was something going on. You knew there was somebody else. You knew the way they behaved with text messages and phone calls, taking calls in other rooms, getting calls in the middle of the night, making sure that you never saw a text. There was no transparency. You knew. The excuses for breaking engagements, breaking dates. You knew. The calls that he would say, hey, would you grab that? And you answer the phone and it's somebody, it's a female asking for him. You knew. And one other thing I have to add, because there are people, I talked to one, and I had warned this person not to do this. Did they listen? No. They had to do it their way. Okay. They went through someone's phone. That is very, very dangerous. Only do that if you are prepared to find and accept what you see. If you're prepared and whatever you find, you were looking for it. You can't get angry. You were looking for it. If you were looking for it, you knew it was there. The trust was already broken. If the trust is broken, the relationship is over. And they went through somebody's phone and they found things they didn't want to see. And they were hurt and they were, tearful and they were mad and they were angry. But you knew all along it was there. You didn't need to go through the phone. Your gut was telling you there's a problem. Maybe the person was trying to tell you in a nice way they were stepping away from the relationship and you didn't want to see it. You didn't want to hear it. So they just had to be blatant and just tell you it was over. You knew it was coming. And I'm sorry. Pay attention to red flags. As far as jobs, I do know some people who lost their job of late and they're devastated, of course. Sweetheart, the grass isn't always greener somewhere else. If it is, it's either AstroTurf, fake, or it's because that's where all the bullshit is. Because that's what makes the grass grow. So before you change jobs because of a lucrative offer that's too good to pass up, think about what you have in front of you. Is it worth walking away from? If it pays you well, excuse me, I'm about to yawn. It's 4 a.m. I'm sorry. If they pay you well, they're good to you. You like your coworkers, you like your boss, you're treated with respect and dignity. Why are you giving that up? Why are you turning away from it? A lucrative offer, something that glitters and is pretty and shiny and promising you the world. Yeah, is it really? Are they trying to lure you away? Because I know people that will try to steal employees from other firms just to be vindictive. They don't have any, it's just because they want to steal you from that firm. They don't have any interest in you. It's just a dig at the owner of the firm. Please, this isn't third grade and we're stealing somebody's volleyball or favorite pencil. These are people's lives. So think about what you're walking away from. It could be big. You could regret it. Always be true to yourself and your authenticity. Stand up for yourself. Never let anybody walk on you or disrespect you. But handle yourself with dignity and pride and grace. Be truthful. Be honest. When someone approaches you with a problem, discuss it. Don't get defensive. I'm about to yawn again. I did not sleep well. So just think about it, okay? All that glitters is not gold. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Think about it. Why did you leave the firm you left or the company that you left? Was it really a pretty good place? You really liked it? But you thought this would be neat and cool and a fun thing to try? Was it worth it? Can you go back to where you came from? Will they take you back? They may not. I know with relationships, a lot of people will want to go back. They will blow something out of the water and then oh my God, they'll be so sorry. I didn't mean to say whatever. I didn't mean to do whatever. Please let me come back. In my life, personally, the answer will be no, because if you did it to me once, you'll do it to me again. No. We could be friends, but no. I know employers are the same way. Things to think about. So when the rug gets pulled out from under you, there's a life lesson in it. Life lessons suck. Plain and simple. But the life lesson is all that glitters isn't gold. The grass isn't always greener. You saw the red flags. You knew what was going on. You just didn't want to see it. Those are life lessons. And they're hard ones to learn. We have to be humble. We have to admit we were wrong, because it's so much easier to blame somebody else. Oh, they didn't understand me. They didn't love me. They didn't appreciate my work. Honey, sometimes you just have to admit you made a mistake. Be humble. Be honest with yourself. Be honest about the situation. Take your lumps. It's over. And move on. Learn the life lesson. Do not repeat the life lesson, but move on. Life isn't fair. Life isn't always fun. It's challenging. It's hard. But we learn the life lesson so that we can do better next time. And to share the life lesson we learned with others to help them on their journey. It sucks. I know. I'm sorry. And just one little thing, because it just popped in my head. Parents, school is almost out. Okay, we're going to have a lot of kiddos who are not going to pass. We're going to have a lot of kiddos that are going to have to take summer school, and we're going to have parents that are furious. And they're going to be blaming the teacher. They're going to be blaming the administration and the school. Honey, stop. Maybe your child didn't turn in their homework. Maybe your child didn't try. Maybe your child wasn't even in class. Maybe your child was stoned high the entire time. And yes, this just ruined the family vacation. All of the plans for the summer are now upended. Again, you saw the warning signs, the down slips, the notes from the teacher, the calls, and you blamed the teacher, you blamed the school. Honey, it's not always the teacher in the school. It's your child. Your child is not perfect. Kids have to go to school. They have to listen to the teacher. Do not expect the teacher to be the parent. Do not expect the teacher to parent your child, to give your child medication, to help them on with their coat and their shoes, 24/7. Once in a while, a kindergartner will need a little help. But a third grader or a fourth grader, please, come on. Dress appropriately. Wear your shoes in class. Don't be disruptive. Don't be so busy cutting up and being funny that you're missing the lesson. And when your child is called to the office, take it seriously. Don't get mad at the teacher. Discipline your child. Find out what's going on. Is your child being disruptive because of the home environment? Because the child is going to live what they learn at home. So if they're living in chaos, they're going to create chaos in other places. If your child is fighting, are they seeing that at home? So before you start pointing fingers at everybody else for your child's behavior, look in the mirror and look at your child. Accept responsibility for your actions, how you raise your child, what you show your child, what you teach your child, your inactions. Are you a lazy parent? Are you too busy with your own friends, your phone, watching Netflix to parent your child? Oh, they're fine, go play. Go do your homework. What if they don't understand the lesson? And they come to you and you blow them off. Hey, I'm watching TV. I'm on the phone. You go figure it out. That's lazy parenting. You have to accept responsibility for that, for your actions, inactions, your attitudes. Blaming everybody else but the responsible party. Your actions, inactions, attitudes, and your behavior. Going down to the school, throwing a fit, yelling and screaming because your child is a victim. Well, sometimes that does happen. Kids are bullied, absolutely. And it's up to the parent to get to the bottom of that. However, if your child is the bully, recognize that. If your child is disruptive, recognize that. Do something about it. You're the parent. Get to the bottom of it. And I don't mean going home and beating the hell out of your child. Sit down and have a conversation with your child. What is going on? Maybe they're dyslexic. Maybe they have ADD, ADHD. Maybe they have a learning disability. Maybe they've been sexually abused and they're acting out. Find out what's going on. Get to the root of the problem and fix it so your child isn't a victim. Just wanted to throw that out there. Life lessons suck, no matter how old you are, no matter the situation. But we all face them every day. Learn the life lesson. Don't repeat the life lesson. I'm always around if you need to vent, if you need to talk about it. It's okay. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling because we're going to get through it together.